Alrighty. July 1st, the start of the second half of the year. Halftime is over. We didn't get
Yes,
a long
here we go into
halftime.
summer.
We're
The
going
dog days of
summer.
summer are upon us.
Summer, yes, the
Uh,
heat and or the hell as I talk about in Houston. I was telling somebody over the weekend, I was like, we have two seasons in Houston. There's hell and then there's hot.
yeah, it is.
So
It is brutal right now.
it is still hot. It's not hell yet. It's gonna get worse.
It's
Uh,
hot everywhere.
But today on the Option Genius show, we're going to be talking about why you're going to be giving all your money to Elon Musk, if you don't know who Elon is. And no, I'm not talking about buying stocks in Tesla or SpaceX. I'm not talking about buying a car or buying a rocket ship or anything like that, buying Starlink or nothing, Roadster, Autobot, robot, whatever. I'm not talking about any of that, although you probably will at some point. I think we all will at some point give him money for something. I've been thinking about buying solar panels. I was like, oh well, best one probably to get is the Tesla one.
I
You
mean,
know,
it's really like Elon taking over the world at this point.
he's got everything. And so today we're gonna be talking about Elon and how you're gonna want to give him all your money. Just because it is such a better deal than everything else out there in terms of finances, in
Yeah,
terms of banking. And yeah, it's like this guy doesn't have enough to do.
it's amazing that he's everywhere and how I think his management style has to be studied at some point. Like how he can keep managing all these different factions of life. I mean, it's just incredible to
I
me.
mean, yeah, several books have been written on him already. And yeah, he is gonna go down in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Uh, Kevin's in the house from Lakeland, Florida. Welcome, Kevin. How you doing today? Thanks for joining. Um, let's look at the markets. Basically a flat day. We had a nice day yesterday on the last day, and then today SPX is up 4 points, RUT's up 6 points, oil is down to 68.3. QQQs are down 1%. Dow Jones going to hit another all-time high today. It's up only 1 point though, so we'll see about that. Gold is up 1%. Trading at 4,083. And what else we got? The VIX is at 16.3. So not that elevated. A little bit more than normal, but still not in the crazy range. Everything seems to be smooth sailing. Um, we did have several Supreme Court rulings, nothing that really impacted the market much. And the AI
Kevin
trade,
Warsh talked this morning as well.
he did, and he
His first
didn't
remarks.
say anything.
Not really.
He's like, I'm not going to talk. Okay. So much for helping out us and letting us know what's going to happen. But yeah, so that's the new reality we live in. And I'm sure that all the other Fed governors have probably also been placed on watch to not tip their hands as to which way they are going to be voting. Um, so it's going to be basically we don't know anything until they actually release their report and tell us what they're actually going to do. So it's going to be much more volatile. I don't like it, but nothing I can do about it at this point. So
And I heard that they're meeting instead of 6 weeks, they upped it to in 4 weeks. They're gonna have a meeting.
just one or every meeting's in four
No,
weeks.
it's the next scheduled meeting for the Fed. They moved it up till 4 weeks instead of 6 weeks from now.
Did they give a reason?
No, I didn't see that reason.
That is weird.
Yeah, so that came out. I read that today, and it's going to be shortened. So
That's not good.
yeah,
Not in this market.
yeah.
Um,
Think about.
huh. The only reason to do that was if they were anticipating a change. Um, and I don't think he has the votes to go lower.
No,
He might have the votes to go higher. If that does happen, we're looking at
that's
a
going to
nice
be yeah,
sell-off really quick.
yes.
Huh. All right, so we're gonna have to anticipate or be aware or buy some put options to protect ourselves.
Yeah, so this is a little bit noteworthy.
Very noteworthy. That's like the biggest news. I didn't even I didn't even hear
Yeah,
about that. That's
I read it early this morning, and I was like, huh, interesting, because it came across on Yahoo Finance, and I read Yahoo Finance, and it's just like, oh, Kevin Warsh spoke today. He really didn't say much. I read through the whole article, and it said, oh, but we do have something to say. We're going to move it from 6 weeks from now to 4 weeks.
okay. I mean, it might be nothing. It might be he just wants to go on vacation or something. I don't know. But that's weird given that they have not given a reason.
Right? Why would you wait that long or shorten it? Yeah.
Yeah, you just had a meeting. Why are you going to move it up unless something has changed? Now, the employment numbers came out, yesterday and they weren't, or were they today, and they weren't as good as what was expected. Um, some of the numbers, there are many different places that give employment numbers, but this one place that came out with them today said that the numbers were not as good as expected. So, um, interesting, very
It
interesting.
is. I mean, and we did have a sell-off this morning, like what, a minor one, right? It was only like 40, 45 points down on the S&P.
Mm-hmm.
Then it rebounded up like nothing's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
So it's worth digging a little deeper into that.
I mean, other than that, we don't really have any catalysts coming up, right?
I
We're
mean,
waiting for
the
earnings.
war is a war.
Yeah, the war, I mean, the war is still there. It's
Mhm.
not completely over. Um, but ships are going through, and so as long as none of the ships get attacked, oil is going to probably stay below 70. I don't know if it'll get much lower. Maybe it'll get to 65. But I think that's somewhere around there. It's going to be the floor for now.
Yeah.
Um, Now, if they do sign something, yeah, we might get like a $3 or $4 drop. But other than that, I think we're in the 60 plus range for now. Um, and so that's the war issue. AI is still going forward. It's still moving. That's what's taking everything. We've had a sell-off in the chips the last 2, 3 days. Without yesterday, but other than that, but they're expected, Micron had earnings and they knocked it out of the park. They're
Hmm.
having amazing earnings for memory. And
It's
yeah, it just
it
keeps
continues.
going.
I
Yeah.
mean, there is a concern, like everybody, all investors are worried about how much money they're spending, right? And it's tough to figure out where this is all going, right?
Yeah. I mean, so you look at the different models like OpenAI, ChatGPT, they said they're not going to go public this year. They came out and they said that. And if you look at the different models, if you look at Anthropic's Claude, they keep coming out with new integrations. So recently they came out with like a finance integration, where if you're using it, you can connect it to all your bank accounts. Um, Today or this week, they came out with a health integration. So if you're a healthcare company, you can use it and, it'll comply with all the HIPAA laws and all the compliance issues. They have one for financial companies. I think they have one already for legal companies. So they're branching into all these different areas of the economy to get it integrated soon. So it is being used, and they are, the revenues continue to grow. So there is something there. But again, right now the biggest thing is that all of the different companies, not just this one, are spending all the money. So that's the big that's the big issue. Like which
Yeah,
one is
they're
going
all
to
spending.
win, or are we going to have multiple winners? Um, Facebook did have some news today that they are going to take some of their computing power and start renting it out to other people, kind of like a cloud service. So Amazon's making good money with theirs. Microsoft is making good money with theirs. Google's making money with theirs. So now, Meta's like, well, we got enough for us. We don't really need it, so we're gonna start renting it out to other people. So Facebook's actually up like 10% today. So on that news, that okay, they're gonna stop spending money and they're gonna actually rent it and make some money from the spend. So I guess we'll see if that is enough to turn the stock around, but that's been heading lower. And all the big Mac 7s have been
Yeah.
heading lower and lower.
I mean, how long can it basically supports the rest of the market for now. I mean,
The equal weighted market is actually doing better than the regular market, yeah, SPX, equal
mm,
weighted S&P 500, because a lot of the other names are picking up. The the small caps, have done better than the S&P for months now.
yeah, it's the chart is basically if you put the S&P side by side with the rut is like completely different, right? As far as smoothness, it's just straight up, you know.
Red's doing really
Yeah.
well right now. I'm not even sure why. I mean, it's small cap US companies. Maybe because the tariff issues are kind of over with, right?
I
We
mean,
haven't
yeah,
heard anything about that, and they're getting like Nike's expecting to get almost $1 billion back in refunds from
that's a
tariffs.
stock that's really had a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they just had earnings and they just keep going lower and lower and lower. Eventually it'll bottom, but I don't know when, and I'm not going to be able to pick it. So I'm not even looking at it. It's not even on my chart. It's like, nope, not thinking about Nike trading it at all. Um, but they're having lots of issues um, for different reasons.
Yeah, indeed.
So that is the news today. So now, if we want, let's turn to
Mr.
the main
Musk.
story. So why is everybody going to give their money to Elon, Matt?
So Elon is essentially he is starting his own bank in a way, right? So he is offering a card that will have your handle on it through Twitter, which offers you 6% on your money as like a bank account. So instead of going to a bank and getting a regular bank account, you could do the same thing inside of Twitter. And which is mo the biggest thing that I see has such a customer base. He has what, 500 million followers, right? That are basically Elon fans that have
Well,
the ability to,
everybody on Twitter is not an Elon fan.
well, yeah, but they are potential customers.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it's easy for anybody. So basically, in order to get the card, you have to be a premium member of Twitter. You have to be a premium user, so you have to
Hmm.
pay whatever it is, monthly fee, $6, $7, whatever it is. And then you can apply for this debit card. So it's not a credit card. That's what I thought at first. It was be a credit card, but no, it's a debit card. And again, like you said, it's paying 6% on your money. So whatever money you deposit, they're paying you 6% a year, which is higher than anything else, any other bank I've seen, higher than CDs, higher than the, 2-year, 10-year treasuries. Um, and it's guaranteed FDIC up to 250,000 with one bank, but they have insurance for up to 10 million.
10 million, yeah. So big accounts.
Yeah, because normally, if you want to put money in the bank and you have to limit it to whatever the FDIC insurance is, right? So it's like, hey, I want to come in with $1 million, put it in the bank. You got to open different accounts or maybe even go to different banks because if the bank fails, you're not only guaranteed for up to 250.
Right. So
Um,
you have all these separate banks and then you're worried about that. So,
exactly. In this case, you could put all 10 million and it's still protected. Plus, you get 3% cash back every time you use the card on certain categories, whatnot, but a lot of stuff. You can get 3% cash back. So it's kind of like a credit card in terms of rewards, but you have to put the money up front. So you're not borrowing it, you're actually depositing the money, and then it's using the Visa system to make payments. And so I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I really like the 6%. because I've had an account with American Express, which is like a savings account, high yield savings, they call it.
Yeah.
It's paying like three,
Right.
you know. I looked at other banks and they're all three, three and a half, somewhere around there. This is going to be close to double the best that you can find out there. That's pretty impressive.
So it's brought up a couple of things, and the couple of things come to mind is, um, do you trust to put all your money with Elon, or do you rather go to the bank? Right? It really comes down to that. Also, where is the 6% coming from, right? Is it always going to stay for 6%? Which was actually what Senator Elizabeth Warren was asking as one of her questions, right? So how are they going to continue to do this 6% over time? So the money's got to come from somewhere. And they seem to think it's going to be from customer acquisition, right? They're going to people coming in, and that's how it's going to work. But it's yet to be seen. It's almost like a teaser rate, right? So will 6% quietly become 3 over time, right? But so it's going to be interesting to see how it happens. And this has tried to be done before also. Like what Facebook tried it, Google tried it at some point, both failed. So this is probably the first time in our history that there's a possibility of this happening altogether.
Yeah. In China they have the WeChat, which is very similar to
Mhm.
this. And basically it's not just about the card. It's also that you can very simply, easily, and this whole thing is called X Money,
Yeah.
right? That's the name of the service. That's the name of the whole thing, how it works. And you can easily, if you're on Twitter, you can just easily send money to anybody else on Twitter. All you need is their little Twitter handle, and you can just automatically from the app send it to them. Now, that, takes care of, hey, I don't need like a Venmo anymore, you know?
Or that's what PayPal really is.
Yeah, I mean PayPal hasn't I don't think PayPal's been relevant for a long time. Like they're still there, they're still around, but in terms of um that was their start, like how, okay, you can send money to anybody with a PayPal account, but I don't know any young people that have PayPal accounts that even know what PayPal is anymore. You know?
It was the kind of the beginning cool thing to do. Not cool, that's the wrong word, but it was the thing to do really easily. It was very
Hmm.
frictionless that you could just send money to someone.
Yep.
And that's kind of sailed, right? Because you have Robinhood, you can do all these different things now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, Zelle is the I think the leader in this market right now, where all the different banks, most of the major banks, they use Zelle. They have Zelle. So if you open an account at Chase or Capital One or Wells Fargo or whatever, you get that included with your account. So you can send money to basically anybody else and just Zelle them. They just need to activate their own account. They already have it in their bank. So this is going to kind of compete with that because, you can send money to Twitter, but um the fact that this thing already has, 570 million users,
It already
active
has a
monthly
base,
active
has a base
users,
to do it.
that, they don't need a lot of them to start using this to make it viable. Most of these fintech companies that start up, they're like dying for customers. They can get a few
Yeah.
thousand, 3,000. Oh, we got 50,000 customers. Okay, that's great. You
Can you
know,
keep them, right? It's
yeah. So the biggest thing is that, most of us, we already if we use a debit card, then we already have a bank, we already have it set up, we already have the card, we're used to it. How do you get people to switch over?
right. That's a trust thing too. I mean, that is really a trust thing.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can think about it. Are you going to move your money from Regions or Chase or whatever, and you're going to put it with Elon?
Well, it's not Bank of Elon.
I know it's not,
There's a
but
real bank behind it, it's
there is a
it's called it's
psychological.
Cross River Bank, FDIC insured, so it's like a legit bank, it's a legit thing. Um,
You
and
still
I think
you still have to make the leap.
you have to make the leap, but it's not as hard as it was before.
No.
Especially if you're already a Twitter user, you can just go to the app and apply for the card. It's not even that difficult. You're not calling anybody. You're not filling out a long form like a credit card form, where you have to give your all your data, all your information and your firstborn and all that stuff. This is just a debit card. So they don't even care about your credit. They don't even ask for about your credit. It's like, okay, it's a debit card. It's open. Here you go. Transfer money. Boom, done.
This does open the door for a credit card though, which I
Credit card could be
will,
coming. Yeah.
yeah, I will be coming.
uh, you know, and so, and then it's also instant, the transfer. The money is instantly transferred. So, for example, um, there are no international fees for this, right? So, we have Harriet, who works for us, OptionGenius. She lives in the Philippines. And so she's a freelancer. And so she sent me her invoice for the month, and I have to send her money. So I use a transfer service. They charge, let's say a certain percentage. I mean, for her monthly thing, it was like $15 was the monthly or the charge for the transfer.
Right.
And she's not going to get it for like 3 days, 3 or 4 days, even
Right.
though
I mean,
they've taken it out of my account already.
and is it mostly business days, right? I imagine.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's a delay to that depending on
Yes.
when you do it.
So that's the float that company, the transfer company is making on it. They've already charged fees, but they're also getting float. And so with this, number one, there are no fees, no transfer fees, no international transfer fees. And then number two, there's no float, there's no delay. I send it to her, she gets it today. So for freelancers like her, um, you know, everybody on the gig economy or whatever, you get your money like quick.
And that's where we're headed. I mean, it's obvious, right? So this is naturally going to, I see it moving to these type of things. So
Faster and faster.
yes,
Yeah, there's no delay.
there's an attractiveness to this, yeah, for those
hmm
reasons.
And it's not like he had to build it out. It's just built on top of Visa Direct. It's Visa's platform. So he's using Visa's platform to send the payments. He's also using Cross River Bank, which is they have like a proprietary API-driven core banking system that handles the account management, the transaction processing, the underwriting. They handle all of that stuff. And so basically, he just took his users and connected a couple dots and opened this up for them.
Yeah, enormous
So
power.
really simple, very easy to do. But the fact that they're offering, you know, 6% to me is that's the big deal. 3% cash back, it's guaranteed. The money is instant. No finance or transfer fees if you use it internationally. If you use a debit, even if you use like an ATM card or an ATM to get money out, there's no fees for that. And if you get charged by the ATM, they'll refund you. I think most banks do that now anyway. Um, but it's a pretty cool thing, you know?
And this came out just what, the 29th. Uh,
hmm Yeah.
so it went live to US subscribers on the 25th and 26th, and then it came out on the 29th, rolling out wider on the 29th. I must say that I also see it says here it's not available in New York or Massachusetts.
It's in 41 states right now
Right.
and DC.
Yeah.
Um, And so, we talked about Venmo, we talked about Cash App or PayPal, and there's also Cash App, which is another one. None of them have FDIC insurance.
That's a big one.
So if you open an account with them and you have money in there and they go out of business or they fail or whatever, they would go bankrupt, your money's gone. Like they don't have to give it back to
So
you.
they're a little worried right now, I would say.
I
So
would say, yeah. I mean,
PayPal and Venmo and
Cash App, like I've never heard of them, but they're supposed to be pretty big. And if that's the only thing they're doing is transferring money to people, then yeah, you're gone. Like there's too many players now. Um,
yeah, I had a friend who used Cash App. I don't know too much about it, but
yeah. I mean, I'm assuming, to get money from the Cash App, everybody that's using it has to have it. So,
Right.
Like, you're gonna send me money. Like, no, I'm not downloading another app on my phone. I don't need another app. I got enough junk on my phone. But Twitter's already there. Already a member. Okay. Just
Yeah.
do. I'm just sign up here.
Do
And
you see this as a personal grudge against, PayPal? Because he started this company way back and it's falling out.
I don't really think, I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, he made a lot of money on PayPal. He was there. He was a founder. He was there till the end, you know. I mean, he cashed out with a lot of money from PayPal, and that's where he was able to start Tesla from. Because
It says
with
PayPal was actually named X before it was PayPal.
Yeah. And then they switched it because then they got more partners and more money and they had to raise money, so they had to change it. But he kept the X. And so now if you go to the website, X Money, it's not just a debit card. They are offering um it's kind of like Stripe, where you can use it to accept payments for your business. You can make money transfers. You can do a whole bunch of different things business related at X Money, which is the actual, the website and the service. This is just a new addition to what they're offering. So in terms of fintech, yeah, it's he's coming after them pretty hard. So
It is all in one.
we'll see how it goes.
It's interesting. It hasn't been a really big story, and I think it's under the scenes and it's developing, and I think it will become a louder story as we go along here.
Yeah, I mean the 6% is there to get people in. Will it stay forever? I don't know. That he hasn't nobody there's no disclosures there. There's no user agreement, that they'll tell you how long it's for. So right now it's there. They can change it at any time, but it's probably, it's going to be there for a while because they want people to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it is an eye-raising percentage. Most people, they're going to be like, "Hey, why would I do my business at the bank when I'm offered all this?"
Hmm.
And the banks have to be a little concerned, I'm sure.
Banks are
They're going to
concerned
have to
because
offer,
they're
yeah, they're going to have to
banks
offer more of a percentage.
banks are on attack. They're being attacked on all sides. You got the what is it called? The Save Act, the Crypto Act,
Hmm.
where they're trying to, make the stable coins and all that stuff be more realistic. Um, that is really allowing the crypto firms to really fight the banks. The banks are lobbying very hard against that, but it looks like there might be they win and then they lose and then they win. It goes back and forth. So it
Yeah,
hasn't passed
uh,
yet.
yeah,
It hasn't passed yet, but the banks don't like that at all. Um, and this is just another salvo. So I mean, their X Money is not the first one to do this, like you said, but it's probably the one coming in with the biggest advantage in terms of users already on the platform. So if you could just turn it on and be like, all right, we got 1 million people, or we got 2 million people doing it, that's huge.
right. And they're on that platform and they're going to talk about it, and it's just going to naturally move out from there. You're going to be, if you were a user of this and you're going to be like, hey, I'm making 6% on this and I got all these features. Of course, it's a natural proliferation of the product.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
So,
so, I got my boys are right now in Japan, and so we had to open um a checking account for one of them so that we could get a debit card. Because Japan, supposedly, they do most of the big stores take credit cards, but it's still a very cash-based society. And so the smaller stores, the food vendors on the street, whatever, those guys, they only take cash. So you have to go to the ATM and you got to get cash out to use it. And so we had to get a debit card. And then We also had to go and get a credit, figure out which of our credit cards do not charge um, foreign fees
Foreign
for
transfer.
money transfer and not money transfer, but money exchange, like exchange fees, you know? Capital One did not. So we're like, okay, okay, great. We got Capital One. Okay, this is the one you use. When you go there, this is the credit card you use, and this is the debit card you use, right? But if you have this card, boom, you're done. It's all in one.
Yeah, so if this trip happened next year, you consider it?
Yeah, I'm thinking
There
about
you
getting it
go.
now. I
Yeah.
mean, why not? I got money sitting at American Express making 3%. If it takes me, 30 minutes to set up an account for this and transfer the
Yeah.
money over,
Yeah.
boom, now I'm making double the money in a year doing absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, you just doubled your percentage.
Yeah, you doubled your income.
Hmm.
Doubled and that's for people with, limited income retirement, that's a big deal.
Huge deal.
And I don't see any risk. It's either like, okay, it's either in this Cross River Bank or it's in American Express. Same thing. One bank or the other. And I've been looking for other places, like, but all these banks that say they have high fees, high yields, they all have some kind of limit. It's like, oh, only the first $10,000 will get 4%. Everything else is less.
Of course.
Or, you have to have this much, you have to have a checking account with us, and you have to have direct deposit with us, and you have to have this. I'm like, I don't want all that. I just want the
Sounds like
interest.
a regular bank. That's all they do, you
I
know?
just want the interest, you know? And 3% cash back on a card for purchases, that's also huge. We barely talked about that yet, but I, I played the credit card game for the different points and the miles for the cash back. And it used to be, Discover came out and 1% cash back was like a big deal. Then it became 1.5, then 2. Whoa, 2 was
Yeah.
huge.
Then five.
I haven't seen 5.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, dis Discover, right? You're talking about?
Discover has 1. Yeah, 1%.
That's higher now.
Is it? Then
Yeah,
maybe they've
it is.
switched it.
Well, they're going
Um,
to become Capital One. I think they already are.
Discover got bought by Capital One?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because Capital One does not have, like 3%. They have 2% on some of their cards. And then there's the one that I just got is a Coinbase credit card.
Yep.
And that gives you up to 4%,
I thought
but
about
they,
that one myself.
but they give you Bitcoin. They pay you in Bitcoin. They don't pay you in dollars. So I don't know if it's going to be worth anything. And it's also based on how much money you have with them. So I have all my crypto with Coinbase. And so when I opened the card, I was getting 4%. But as crypto has fallen, it went down to 3%. And then now I think it's down to 2% because crypto keeps falling. So my account with them, the balance keeps, the value keeps going down and down. And so the lower it goes, then eventually, they don't pay as much anymore. So if Bitcoin goes back up again, then yeah, I might get 3% or 4%. But right now I'm not. And
Times are
so
tough right now.
yeah, so it's like, okay, what do I use? So my biggest question is, okay, I use it as a credit card and I pay it off at the end of the month. Um, if I just use this as a debit card, the money gets taken out right away from my account. Is that going to be a really big deal for me?
Yeah.
So that's like the only question. Normally I'll have plenty in the bank to cover it, so not a big deal. So I think, but even if you use it as a savings account, open it, get the checking, get the card, whatever, and then transfer your money over and get the 6%. Even if you don't use anything else, you don't use the foreign transfer fees, you don't use the ATM, you don't use the sending money to people on Twitter thing, that's
Well,
fine.
you could use that account, just like you said, specifically for what you want to use it for, right? You don't have to have all these bells and whistles. They're nice, but I think it is a good overall account, possibly to do whatever you want to do with it. So that's pretty nice.
Yep. And then the thing is, like, once you have all the people on your platform and then everybody's using this, then it's easier, like you said, to get them to use other things. Like
Mhm.
if they come out with a credit card, if they come out with a checking account, if they come out with a something else. Because, like you said, the banks are really in trouble. Um, I had to just open another corporation credit, corporate bank account. Um, in the past, most of my accounts have been with Capital One, and they started. I don't know. These banks are weird. Like Capital One was really good for a while, and then they started getting stupid, and they started charging all these fees and everything. So I like, okay, forget this, and we transferred a lot of money and a lot of accounts from Capital One over to Chase. Now, Chase is also very expensive. Um,
My favorite, like all the fees, right? Account management fee. And you're like, really? What do you really got to do with
Yo,
it?
what do you imagine?
What are you doing?
You
Like,
don't even you don't even want to send me my
that one
statement.
bothers me more than anything. I always see it like, you're like, we're with Regions, right? And it's like you see this just a regular account. They do nothing. You know it. I mean, I love to see what they actually do. Account management fee, account management fee. You're like, give me a break.
Yeah, that's why I went to Capital One because they didn't have that. They're like, okay, if it's above, like $5,000 or something, then we don't charge you the monthly fee. I'm like, okay, cool, that's what I want. I don't pay no monthly fees because it's
Yeah,
stupid.
it is stupid.
And
Like, what are you
so,
sweeping and my bank account? Like, what are you actually doing? Nothing. I would love to
and
hear that.
yeah, and
Actually, I
then
want to go to the bank and be like, hey, what does this account fee, what do you actually do to have me charge that? I'd love to hear
yeah,
exactly what that is.
if you're still paying that, you need to switch.
Yeah, I know.
If you're still paying a monthly fee for
I
no
just got really
reason,
angry, Alan, because I do
you
pay it.
you need to switch because there are other
It's
banks
like
out
$8.
there.
I think it's like $8.
That's crazy.
Yes. See, I
That's
just
a hundred.
got
That's
me all
almost a hundred
upset.
bucks
This
a year.
this episode just got me really upset.
It's $100 a year for nothing, man. That's like
Yeah, I
crazy.
know.
And so I heard like I had to open a new corporate account and I heard an ad, right? I heard an ad on a podcast for this new company called Mercury. It's a new bank. It's an online only bank. And I went and I opened the account in 5 minutes. And they sent me a debit card, they sent me a credit card without checking my credit. They didn't check my credit, they still sent me a credit card.
That's
And
interesting.
I
So how does
got
that work?
I got everything. I got free wires and free ACH and free this and free that. Stuff that I can't even get at Capital One or Chase. They charge you for wires. They charge you for ACH. They charge you for cashier's checks. They charge all these extra fees. This bank is like, no, everything is included. I mean, they don't have any branches, so I can't go to somebody, but you can get them on the phone. We had
So again, the sign up process was just easy.
super simple. The hardest part was the two-factor authorization. Like I created the account and then I couldn't get back in because they were like, "Oh, you're two-factor." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't set up the two-factor." So they were like, "Okay, here, set it up again, or do it this time, and then you can get in." So I set it up on the app, downloaded their app. Now, if I need to log in, they'll send me a code on their app, and it comes in. So it's not that hard. It's not that big a deal. But when we had the hedge fund, the bank that we used for the hedge fund it had to be a special account, like a hedge fund only account, right? Most of these banks, like Wells Fargo or Capital One or whatever, they don't open checking accounts for hedge funds. So we had to use a separate bank, and the bank we used has no branches. It's an online only bank,
Mhm.
I believe. Like I've never seen any. It's called Axios, and
Yeah,
I've
I've heard
never
of them.
seen of any of their branches or anything. Never even heard of
No,
them before.
not
But
either.
they're very big in the space, in the hedge fund space, because of this, and they specialize in it. And they have other accounts too, but they really specialize in this. And that's when I got used to it. I'm like, okay, I don't really need to be able to go see the banker because that's why we opened it at Capital One because they had a branch. They had multiple branches near us, but then they shut them all down. So it's like now I can't go to the bank if I wanted to. you know so
It's hard to think
um
about like what actual banks are really out there with branches.
mhm.
I mean, the one that comes in mind that it almost looks dead every time I see it is what is it? Not Citizens. Anyway, there's one of them that I just look by, drive by it, and it's just like no one's ever working there ever. They're just becoming extinct.
Yeah, that's the problem. So, well, you gonna do it? You gonna open the account?
I'm definitely interested, right? I don't see why
What would
not.
it have to take you to get to be like a yes?
I
What's
pretty
holding
much,
you back?
like anything, I sit for a little bit and ponder it and think about it, and I have to really think about what I'd actually really have a use case for it. Right? I pretty much have an account for everything I need, so it's just like, do I need another one, really? And if there's a real strong reason for me to use it, which I need to think about for me personally, then I would probably jump for it.
So 6% cashback or 6% will not do it for you.
No, because I trade options, I know how to make money.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, if you don't have, but if you have a large chunk just sitting around somewhere,
Yeah, it's enticing. Yeah.
you know, maybe you have all your money in the market, but a lot of other people, they don't.
Yeah, it's
So
a it's an interesting thing to think about. So you're a lock, sounds like.
I'm definitely gonna try it. I'm gonna look at it. I might open an account and see how easy it is to do. I haven't done it yet.
Mhm.
But again, I have the money sitting there at American Express, and they keep lowering the rate. Rates, rates have actually gone up. Interest rates have gone up. The 2 year, 10 years have gone up, and they keep lowering the rate. So,
We're all fighting inflation here, right? So
mhm,
you got to think about that. The FDIC insurance is a big check mark for me.
mhm.
You just want to know, like you said. Some of them are like, oh, you could lose your money and sorry,
Yep. So this one's actually backed up by a bank, by a real legit bank.
Cross River. I have to do a little research on Cross River.
Hmm. Yep. And then you get the 3% cash back too. And that's unlimited on the eligible purchases. So, Discover, they have a limit. Like you get this much on a certain amount, and then after that it goes down. This is unlimited, 3%. So, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to stay. Like you said, the 6% and the 3%, how long it'll stay. Maybe it's just for introductory period, but it doesn't say. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And worst comes to worst, right? Let's say I transfer the money over, right? I'm gonna have to connect it to my main bank account or my American Express account or whatever. If he comes out tomorrow and says, "Oh, hey, we're gonna make it 1.5% now instead of 6," I was like, "Okay, I'll just transfer the money back." So it's not gonna be that big a deal.
oh, not really. So
So,
you have like a free trial in a way
hmm
with this.
yeah. So we're kind of giving him a little plug here, a little advertisement.
Yeah,
But in for our readers, I think it seems like it's a pretty good deal. So
I may be wrong, but I didn't, maybe it's just such a new story. I really haven't heard that much about it.
I
Thought it'd
mean,
be just your headline.
they just opened it up in April to more people. The media is finally picking up on it in June. So last couple days ago, they came out with reports more like Benzinga. Forbes was covering it back in April. But others have started to pick it up after that. And now it's becoming news, Senator Warren has now entered the fray and she's asking questions and whatnot. So that's driving some more media attention.
There's going to be some more memes from her, sound bites for her on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like she used to be the watchdog, like she was really good at helping people and she passed a bunch of laws in the beginning.
I feel like she's
Um,
changed over time. Like she
I
used
don't think she's changed,
to,
but I think she's become less effective. You know, now she just seems like she's just crying about
Hear
everything.
noise and just
She's just whining about everything, like, oh, what about this and what about that? And she knows she's got no power. I would be surprised if X Money even replied to her at this point.
didn't she own some stock that she sold just before it crashed a couple months ago? She was
I
nervous
have
about
no
that. No, it's
idea.
true. No, I don't know what it was, but there were reports of her selling this, whatever it was, some stock of some company just before it crashed. A good amount of it, which is very,
Maybe.
who knows.
Yeah,
But
I don't
also
know.
I'm laughing here that, of course, New York and Massachusetts are holdouts. There always are.
Yeah. Well, she's from Massachusetts, right? So,
Well, there you go.
um, I believe she's the senator from Massachusetts, and New York is the head of the banking department and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
It's like sludge to get through anything done in New York and Massachusetts.
yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Yep. Right now, markets are negative by a little bit. Dow is still up, but holding on for dear life today. So maybe we do not get an all-time high in the Dow today. Um, some stocks, some industries are still doing good. We've been talking about healthcare. Healthcare is really doing well, continues to do well.
How is
REITs,
Lily doing today?
Lilly
I think it's
is,
down.
I'll tell you in a second.
It is down
Uh,
today. Down 15 points.
yeah, Lilly's down a little bit. Not that big a deal. Um, we did a show on REITs a little while ago. They are still doing well. We did a show on Canadian bank stocks. Those are going up basically every day. Not much, you know. I have some BMO, Bank of Montreal. It's up 0.37% today, but it just goes up every day. Little by little, if it goes down a little bit. It's like so nice. It's something you don't have to
These
worry
slow
about.
grinders, they're like the best. You just,
Yeah. Yeah,
even
I
if the
mean,
stock goes up, right? It just, let's say it just jumps 10% and you're all excited. It does get you a little bit kind of, I don't know, moves your insides a little bit. But like these steady kind of grinders are just really nice for your soul.
yeah. I mean, I got tired. Like I'm looking at my list here, the stuff I have. Intel down 8.8% today. Um, Lumentum. I don't even know how you.
Lululemon.
No, not
Yeah.
Lululemon. It's light. It's called Lumentum.
Lumentum.
That's down 7. Micron's
What is,
down
what
10.
what stock is that? What is Lu?
Lumentum. It's also some AI related name.
Okay.
SanDisk down 11 and a half. Seagate down 5. So but like, and they were up this much yesterday.
Yeah.
So they were up just this much yesterday, and they're down that much today, and they're just up and down and up and down.
No, Micron
It,
looks like an earthquake. I don't know.
yeah, it's giving me a bit of pause. I got out of Micron today. I'm out of Micron. I'm cutting back my exposure.
Did I ring the
Uh,
bell on that one? That's pretty good.
Yep, we're done.
Good for
Done with
you.
Micron for now. Let's see. Let's see if it bottoms out and starts heading higher again. I might jump back in, but for now, I'm just cutting back and really clipping positions and seeing, okay, hey, what do I want to stay in? That's not gonna give me so much of a roller coaster.
Nothing wrong with that. You take off and take a little bit off the top.
Yep. Yep. So we had another good market power day yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, did we have a double
Congratulations,
dip
everybody.
yesterday?
No, I did not see a double dip
No,
yesterday.
it was too late, right? The
Yeah, it
signal came
was.
in very late in the day, but we did have um so the day before we had a market power for the win yesterday.
There's some
And
members that did take a market power yesterday, so it was
yeah,
very
I did. I
yeah,
did take one yesterday.
good. Okay.
Yeah, so the number I thought we closed with the signal on, but I know I saw it like within, the last 15 minutes or so. I believe the signal was on, and so the automation took the trade.
Probably knocked you out of the bell today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right at the open, boom, out. And so that was a really nice one.
We were talking about the automation quite a bit because that's a perfect example of you know, you're in working on something else and it takes a trade for you and takes care of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that is coming. I'm busy getting that set up for everybody. So hopefully within a week, we might be able to launch that. So that'll be going out to Market Power members. And then after that, we'll open it up to other people who want to free join or join Market Power for the first time and take advantage. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, still putting the final tweaks on that. And
We're
yeah,
still
it's gonna
undefeated with market power this year. I think
undefeated, no losing
undefeated. I think we're
trades.
pushing up on 30, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So what'll be cool with the automation is you can turn it on, and then if you want to, you can choose to do it by dollar size or by contracts or by percentage. So you could be like, hey, I want to do, whatever, this much, 20% of my account, or 10%, or 5%, or 100%, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then as the account grows with the wins, eventually then you'll start doing more contracts because it's starting to compound. And if it keeps growing and compounding, then eventually you can get to some pretty crazy big numbers.
Yeah, I can.
You don't have to, but if you want to, that's one of the features that were programmed into it. So it's pretty cool.
You're plugging into what, the eighth wonder of the world?
Yeah, compound interest,
That's what I call
compounding. So it's not compounding interest, but it's just, the magic of compounding. Yep.
it.
So a lot of crazy stuff, but good stuff. Sweet beans. All right. You got anything else for us?
No, it's we have oh yeah, so everyone, the market is closed on Friday coming up.
Oh yes,
Talked
we
about that.
have.
So
I
it
forgot
was
about that. We do
yeah,
have the Friday is Independence Day,
yep.
and at OptionGenius this week we have Independence Week, Financial Independence Week to be
Sure.
exact. So we have a series of specials launched yesterday. So yesterday was the first special. It was buy one get one free on workshops.
A BOGO.
That will, yeah. So that all the specials will last until the final day, which is, I believe, on Sunday, maybe Monday. Sunday or Monday is the final day. So you have until then to jump in. Today was day two. So for those of you who join the club on this special, you'll actually get extra time. I believe it's 2 months extra free. So that is like $500 worth, that you get for free. So that's that. And then we have other stuff coming up as well, including you just mentioned the automation. So yes, so one of the specials is going to be that the automation will be for free for a certain amount of time for people that are joining Market
That's a
Power.
really good one.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll save money as well. And yeah, so it's gonna be fun. So we're getting that, and that's coming. So it's just stay on the lookout, check your emails. We'll also be, I believe, posting it in the Facebook group, so you can see them there. And yeah, so happy Independence Day. Happy, you doing anything?
Yeah, I have a full tilt. So where I live, they have boat parades. They have all sorts of golf cart parades. I think I'm going to like three or four parades.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a long day of parades. So I'm going to be paraded out.
And then they're having fireworks over the
Oh
water.
yeah, yeah, they do. Over the water and we've been living here 2 years now, so we know all the spots, so where to go. So got that all figured out and it's gonna be hopefully we'll have some good weather and it's gonna be hot. I know that and I expect it to be because we're in July, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know. My wife is like, I don't want to do anything. She doesn't want to do anything. One of the boys, they'll be back and he's gonna be out all day long. Um, so I don't know what it's gonna be like when we have to pick him up or anything like
Yeah.
that. Um, Definitely it's going to be very busy, you
Yeah, so
know.
you're on call.
So we're yeah, so we're kind of like, I don't want to plan anything yet.
Yeah.
So Maybe we'll just stay home and watch. The fireworks in Washington, D.C. supposedly are going to be 45 minutes long.
45 minutes long.
That's incredible. We were there last year for the 4th of July for to see the fireworks by the Washington Monument. It was really fun. It was a lot of it was really cool. But I thought it was crowded last year. I mean, this year is probably going to be a lot more crowded, and they're having the fireworks at like 10 o'clock at night. So
Ooh,
it's
that's
like,
late. Yeah.
yeah, it's really late.
Huh.
45 minutes long. The worst thing last year was getting out,
Yeah, the traffic
like
there. Oh
going
my
back,
goodness.
because all the roads are closed, right? Security, the cops are everywhere, and so
Mhm.
you can't get an Uber. You can't, and the subway was free, so everybody was on the subway. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen it that busy before on the subway before. There were people fighting and screaming and yelling at each other. It's like it was bad because it
Yeah,
was number one
I
so
can only
hot.
do that every now and then.
Yeah,
Like I can't do this every year.
like
Like
I
I'm
hated
not
it.
going
I
to
was
do
like,
that.
oh man, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this again. So,
The Beltway of DC is just that is just hard enough when it's not a holiday to get through. I mean, it's just because I travel up to the Northeast and every time I go through DC, it's worse and worse and worse. So good luck to you, everybody. Good luck.
yep. Good luck to whoever's going there.
Yep.
And to everybody out there, happy Independence Day. Um, Financial independence is something that, people strive for, but then it becomes like life gets in the way a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so, but once you get there, it's like a whole different world.
Yeah, everything opens up. Truly does.
So, you make your New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year, but there's nothing stopping you from making a goal today or on Independence Day and saying, hey, by next year, I'm going to give it 1 year. I want to have some serious, positive, passive cash flow coming in. And if that is through options trading, we would love to help you. Now, that's not exactly the most, exactly passive, but maybe with the automation, it can be. We still, will
Yeah.
expect you to check in and low it, and but that is a lot more passive than you having to do it yourself. But even if you are trading the passive trading way, it's not 100% passive, but you're clicking a few buttons a day, and
The
it's
hardest
not.
thing for any, I would say, is just to start. Just start, right? So give it a shot.
And people ask me like, hey, if I join the club, how long before I hit my goal? I mean, it depends what your goal is. You want to be a billionaire, then it might take you a while. But if you want to build the skills that you can go out there and trade for yourself, give me a year. Give me 1 year and give me a certain amount of time every week, and you will be able to ascend up through all the 9 levels that we have, even if you're starting at level one. Know nothing. I don't know anything about options. Okay.
Mhm.
You go up, you can get all the way to level 9. You can be consistent in 1 year if you put in the time and the practice.
Yeah, it shortcuts all the struggles.
Yeah. And you look back in your life and be like, well, I'm been sitting in the same spot for the last 6 years or 5 years or 4 years. I'm not getting ahead. Things are getting worse. Prices are going up. I need to do something. This is definitely, something, and you're here watching this for a reason. You're listening to this, you're listening to us. It's like, hello, this is
That's why we developed that roadmap.
yep, that's why we do this. That's why we're here talking.
All right.
It is fun, but we're trying to get the word out.
Yeah.
So, and there's a special today of all days. So take advantage, jump on board and take advantage. And that's all the time we have for today. And so we are going to skedaddle out of here. No show on Friday, but we
Back
will see you
on
guys all back
Wednesday.
on Wednesday. And we'll see how July is going. Until then, have a great holiday and enjoy the extra theta, the theta decay on Friday,
That's right.
free theta. So take care and trade with the odds in your favor.